Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jose from Southern Life. On this video, we're going to talk about why I'm never going to move back to Naples, Florida. A lot of reasons why. Number one, basically, Naples did me so dirty. It's a very discriminatory place. I mean, I'm in Alabama now, and I find that Florida was much more discriminatory against me than Alabama ever has, or could be, really. It's the same dirty game. I mean, it's not any different. I mean, to give you guys an idea, I was kicked out of ninth grade, and it was basically a witch hunt by the school board against me. I didn't really have that many disciplinary problems when I got into high school, but I had a low grade point average, and they wanted to be an A school. So all the kids that had low grade point averages, it was like a witch hunt against them because they didn't want me in their school. They wanted me to be kicked out of that school, and they basically set me up. When I got expelled from Gulf Coast High School, it was not, and I know I sound like an inmate who says he's innocent right now, but either way, just hear me out on this. In other words, I'm not giving you any reason not to believe the otherwise, but I am going to explain to you from my perspective what I think took place. Basically, I had a grade point average that was low. They're trying to be an A school, so they didn't really want me in Gulf Coast High School. So there's this one teacher who basically set me up, and they escalated the situation dramatically. And it was a process where the teachers knew that anything that I did, they were to escalate it beyond any imaginable possibility, so that they could exact their goal, which was to get rid of me. This teacher, after she was able to get rid of me from that school, was promoted to like superintendent of the district or whatever the crap. I mean, and this teacher, I mean, I had a lot of talented teachers in Florida, and this teacher was the least talented, no student really respected, cared for her. There's teachers that are outstanding from a student's perspective, and then there's teachers that are outstanding from a directive perspective because they're doing whatever political, but as a student, you recognize when a teacher is talented. You recognize when a teacher has the ability to understand her students and help them become better. And this wasn't a teacher that was doing that. This was a teacher that was coming down on kids that were going through difficulties to get them expelled from school because they wanted to get that grade point average, because there's incentives for them to do that. So anyways, I was expelled from Gulf Coast High School practically for nothing, because it was all over a teacher taking away my cell phone. And I needed the cell phone because even though I was 16 years old, I was running a company. So I was trying to go to school while working. How many of those little rich white kids that live behind gated communities are going to take care of their family, provide income for their family, who is a father who had heart problems and health problems and spent more time in the hospital than out, and my mother who had died from cancer. So here I am going to high school while working for a landscaping company, running a landscaping company, quite literally. All right, how many of those little kids that live in a gated community and drive a $50,000 car to school, if they were in my position, would be going to school while working? Very few would have the willpower to say, even though I'm in this completely messed up situation, I'm going to go 100 to get myself out of this. So instead of acknowledging and trying to help me in respect that, hey, here's this kid who's going against all odds, been working since he was 13, both parents sick, trying to, since a young age, not only go to school, but buy your own clothes to school, pay your own rent, and then help your family, all that while trying to go to school. That means nothing. No counselor there gave a crap. No explanation. When a teacher, when they took my phone away, I told them, I said, hey, I got a company to run. I got employees out there that I need to work. I have to have this company phone. I'm not on here texting or listening to music. I'm over here, running a freaking business. Nothing. So it's a place that kicked me out of school, even though I was trying to go to school. It's a place that never gave me an opportunity when I was at workplaces. And this is just the way I tell you. When I was at a workplace and I said, hey, man, you know I'm more talented than all these people. I work harder. I'm more talented. And why can't I move forward the way they can? And the answer was because you're Hispanic. You started here as a dishwasher, and they're white. And basically, they're from New York or Boston or whatever. So, of course, they're going to get better treatment than you. You're a Hispanic. You started here as a dishwasher. We're never going to let you pursue. I don't care how talented you are. You're never going to be able to advance in our company because of who you are. Spoken to me just like that. How can I want to move back to a place that has stripped away so much? I'm not going to tell you this Alabama here is treating me like a star. I'm going to tell you straight up, these people are as hateful, racist, hypocritical as anybody else. So the game ain't different in Naples as it is here. It's the same exact thing. If you're Hispanic, you're discriminated. The only difference here is that since I have opportunity from an economical aspect, now I'm able to use my economical situation to protect me and my family. Where over here in Naples, I was completely vulnerable. I didn't have the possibility to have any assets to protect me, because if I had assets when I was 13 years old, I'd have finished high school. You understand what I'm saying? So by putting myself in a better economical situation, I can improve. Now look, for regular class people who are thinking of between Alabama, Florida, or Georgia, whatever, let me break something down to you. Because the first thing they say is Florida has a higher income than Alabama. Okay, that's stupid. Let me tell you why that's stupid. Because I can rent an apartment here in Alabama for $500 a month, and you can rent an apartment for $2,000 a month in Florida, or $1,500. So already, that's a $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 difference on your income. Here's what you don't know about the income situation in Florida and Alabama. If you take away the 1%, the top 1% of earners, you eliminate that in Florida and Alabama. Now we're looking at the 99%, which is where you likely fall into. Because if you fall into that 1%, you can live in Alaska, Alabama, Arkansas, New York. You can live wherever you want if you fall into that top 1%. That category doesn't exist for people like me and you. So when people look at statistics and they say Florida has a higher income, or this state has a higher income, here's what you're not thinking about. That 1%, they can live wherever they want. You're not in that 1%. Forget about them. When you look at the 99%, which is the rest of us, me and you, when you look at us, Alabama's income is $2,000 more a year than Florida. Now, beyond that, like I said, the housing situation, if you're renting, is about a third of the price. Less than half for sure. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the vast majority of people look at a statistic and say, this is the way I'm going to go. But they have no on-the-ground experience to understand how things really work. They say things like, there's a 6% tax in Alabama. Yeah, but 6% of your income, talk about 56% of your income going to housing costs. Where here, you can get away with 25% of it or less if you're smart. Just people don't know what the crap they're looking at when they look at statistics. I can't move back to Naples because I am a homeowner. Anywhere that I live, I'm a homeowner. Paid off cash, no mortgage, no bank telling me that I have to insure the property, no landlord knocking on my door and saying, where's my rent? I'm a paid off homeowner. In Alabama and Florida, anywhere I live, I ain't paying rent. You understand? So, can I afford a house in Naples? No. Unless it's in a bad neighborhood. And the worst of the worst. That's why when I lived in Florida, I was living in the worst of the worst. Why? Because that's what I could afford. I ain't going back to living in a bad neighborhood. In fact, I'm sitting here looking at how can I get away from these trailers next door and move into a gated community in Alabama, or move into a private community or a piece of rural area where I have even more land to myself. So I'm not looking at how can I make my housing situation worse? How can I make my living conditions worse? Why would I do that? I'm looking at how can I make my living conditions better? If that makes any sense to you. Does that make any sense to you? I ain't trying to live in New York City in a tiny little apartment the size of my car. I'm trying to live on 200 acres. Or on 20 acres, or on 5. You understand me? I'm trying to live away from people so I can play my music as loud as I want. You know what I mean? So if I want to go outside at 2 in the morning and to turn on my lawnmower, nobody's around to complain about it. I'm not trying to live with people on top of me. And here's the next thing. If I had enough money to where I could afford to live in Naples as a paid off homeowner, okay, because here's the thing about people like you who sit here and say, you need to move back to Naples. Do you own your house in Naples or do you pay rent? Do you have a mortgage? How many hundreds of thousands of dollars are you going to pay to a bank before it's yours? Because if those are your answers, then your opinions are irrelevant. You're an idiot. You're never going to get wealthy. You're never going to get ahead. Me, on the other hand, I have a plan in my life of what I need to do, what I need to accomplish. If I had enough money to where I could afford to live in Naples, I wouldn't live there. It's not the type of place I want to live. I don't like the people. I don't like the employment opportunities. I don't like the red tide. It makes me sick as crap. I don't like the development. I don't like the constant heat all the time. There's nothing about the place that I like. I like the fishing out in the Everglades, and guess what? I can get in my car right now, drive over there, and spend a week on vacation and do that for a little bit until I get tired of it. You know, when I moved, those people says, I live in Naples, Florida. Dude, you live in Naples, Florida, now it's garbage. I lived in Naples when it would take me 15 minutes to get from Naples Park to downtown Naples to the pier. And we would go to the pier 3 times a week. When I went to Wiggins Pass, we'd be the only people there. You might see like an old couple from Germany or England holding hands along the beach. And those were the only people there. You had the whole beach to yourself. I lived in Naples. When I went to Wiggins Pass, I had the whole place to myself. I lived in Naples where every single day I would see snakes and turtles in my backyard because there was no development. Where we would go in the woods behind my house and there was a cave with a bear in it. Okay? That's the Naples that I grew up in. I grew up in the Naples where we would go in the woods as little kids and build a fort in the middle of the woods. And we'd run away when a bear ran by or something. You understand me? I lived in Naples when it was pure, clean, and wholesome. The Naples you live in now, I don't want that garbage. You think I want to live in that garbage? Where you guys see the video I did in Naples, downtown Naples. Lady's on her walker with her little walking stick crossing the road. And here comes this car flying. And I see this car flying. I'm like, yo, I pull up into the intersection to block the car from coming because you can tell it ain't going to stop for this old lady. You know what the car did? It drove off into the turning lane, into the grass, and just literally flew by this lady. I don't want to live around these nasty people that have no respect for anybody. At least here in Alabama, people have dignity and respect for each other. They're going to let an old person cross the road. They're not going to honk the horn at you or overtake you or none of that rude stuff. And I'm a person that has a very short temper. I'm working on improving it. And when I see somebody just about ran over an old lady, the things that cross my mind are not the type of things that, it angers me because I feel that I respect other people, so other people should respect other people too. But there's a place where there's no respect. So if I could afford it, if I was in that price bracket where I could look into Naples as a paid off home owner, I'm not going to go to Naples to pay a mortgage. I'm not going to go to Naples to pay rent. No, never. I don't do that. Okay? Get that through your head. If I move back to Naples, it's as a paid off homeowner. Not as a renter, not as a homeless person, not as somebody with a mortgage who's got to figure out how they're going to come up with $2,000 this month. No. That's not the way I live my life. Tired of having to come up with it. When I was younger and I had to explain to the landlord that I didn't have the money this month, I told myself I am never, ever going, when I have the opportunity to remove myself from this situation, I am never coming back to this situation again. So if I had the money to get back to Naples as a paid off homeowner, I could afford to live in a lot of other places as well, and I would choose those places over that. If I was considering Florida, I would consider Citrus County much more than Naples. I would consider Lee County much more than Naples, believe it or not. But I wouldn't do Lee County. Juno Beach, Juno Beach. It's just as nice as Naples. You have everything you would have in Naples, minus the traffic and snobs. I like Miami a lot, and Miami is actually more expensive than Naples. But if I wanted a winter home, I would have it in Miami. I would have it like in Coral Gables or some other nice area like Miami Springs or something like that. I would love to live in Miami as a snowbird, not as a full-time resident, waking up at 6 in the morning and being on the Palmetto for 3 hours. I'm not talking about living there like that. I'm talking about Now it's cold here in my state up north. And this is not up north, this is still the south, but saying it gets a little cold here, spend a month in Miami. No problem with that. In fact, I was telling my wife, if we get a little bit better economically, probably next season or the season after, we're thinking about getting one of those what are they called? Like seasonal rentals where you rent it for a month, getting a seasonal rental and being in Miami for a month. I was just down in Florida for a week, and my YouTube basically covered that. Like, that didn't really come out of pocket. Like, what I spent traveling, I've already made it back. So I can go to Florida for a month if I want to. It ain't gonna be Naples. It's gonna be Miami. It's gonna be Tampa, probably Jacksonville, maybe. I could spend a month in Jacksonville or Tampa or Miami, but I ain't. Why would I was just over there and it was miserable. The red tide made me sick. There's not a lot of traffic in the city right now. Usually Naples is packed this time of year. It was dead. You have work for 4 or 5 months of the year. Okay? So all those bartenders, all those restaurants, when the tourists don't show up, you don't have work. And that's like a vast sector of the economy is based off tourism. And then now you have this thing going on this year. You had the thing going on last year. Then you had the red tide. Then you had the hurricane. That's like 4 years in a row where Naples hasn't caught a break, man. In fact, if you look at the property values in Naples, it's been flat since 2006, where other places like Spring Hill have gone up. Other places like in the Orlando area have gone up. Miami has gone up. Not as much as other places. Jacksonville has gone up. Ocala has gone up. All these real estate markets in Florida have shot straight up. The only one that has stayed at a flat line is South Florida, because when you can't, who's going to invest into a place where the economy depends on tourism? So I don't even know how many times I got to explain this to you, because there's always idiots that come on the channel and they say, you moved back to Naples, or when are you coming back? Like, there's no going back. My income here in Alabama is like twice what it was in Florida. Today's a Monday morning. Look how quiet this place is. The sound of birds. I don't hear an engine. You guys hear a semi-truck or a car or a leaf blower. In Naples now they have a new ordinance where there's so many leaf blowers that the city made it illegal for you to use a gas-powered leaf blower. That's ridiculous. But that lets you know that in the morning in Naples, all you hear is chainsaws, leaf blowers, and all these lawnmowers and edging machines and sprayers and pressure washers. Look at this place. Listen. I hear in the distance way over there a dog barking. You understand? So why would I trade this quiet, peaceful place? Why would I trade this for traffic, red tide, being exploited as an employee? Because the more money they got, the less they want to pay. Out here, people pay me whatever I want. I'm not interested in working like a slave. And by the way, yes, I am wearing Auburn, and I do wear Auburn, and I do wear Alabama. And I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not, but I don't really care. I mean, it is what it is, but that's what it's about. No, I'm not moving back to Naples. I don't want to move back to Naples. I hate the place. Believe me, there's aspects about where I live in Alabama now that I don't like. But at least it's not this deep, decades-long resentment for a place that has exploited me, deprived me of employment opportunities, and deprived me of an education based on discrimination. What else do you want me to hate this place for? And all these people that have lived there 5 or 10 years, y'all need to shut up, because my grandma's buried in Naples, my mother's buried in Naples. I got 5 generations there. Between my grandma to their great-grandchildren, there's 5 generations there in Naples for me. Either born there or died there. 5 generations of my family there. What makes you more of a Floridian than me? I could live in Alabama for 20 years. Go back to Florida and still be more Floridian than you. True or false? At the end of the day, I'm standing up for the people, the real hardworking people of Florida, who they should be tired of being exploited by these rich people. And they should say, hey, enough is enough. But instead of saying, dang, Jose, thank you for standing up for us because we're being exploited, we're being discriminated, instead of saying, thank you, Jose, for standing up for us and saying the truths about the things we want to say but we can't, They should be thankful for me, you know? And if you're from Florida, you should thank me too, because you don't want all this development. But at the end of the day, I don't care what happens there. That's all your garbage to deal with, your mess to deal with. And I by no means am saying that where I live now is perfect. It's not. But at least I have the opportunity to increase my income and live like a normal, decent human being. And in fact, a lot of the people that are living that lifestyle down there with a mortgage, today woke up at 6 in the morning and I don't know what time they're going to get home. And they got to deal with a boss and they got to deal with all that. And I'm over here, look at this. I'm over here about to shoot a squirrel off my front lawn so I can make some squirrel stew. You understand what I'm saying? This is a different lifestyle here. You know what I mean? You ain't never, when I was living in Naples, y'all ain't seen me wearing no clean clothes. Y'all ain't seen me driving no nice cars. I was living like a dog down there, like a lot of you guys are. And those people that are driving nice cars and are looking like they're doing successful, you look at their face and you can tell how dang tired they are from being exploited by the people down there. Because you know they woke up at 6 in the morning. I don't even know how to explain it to you guys anymore. It just blows my mind that after all the explanations that I've made on this topic, people are still coming to my channel with that garbage. No idea. It's like they want you to be a failure. They don't want to see you succeed. Why do you not want to see me succeed? See, that's the thing. I'm coming from a place where people don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you come up. You know what I mean? Like in Louisville, Kentucky, if there's a local artist, everybody wants to see the artist make it. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, wherever you go, and if somebody's on the come up, man, you want to see that person succeed. But I'm coming from a place where I've actually got more approval, I get respect in Miami, I get respect in Tampa. The only place that don't respect you is the place you're coming from. That's the place that's dangerous to you. That's the place that's trying to see you fail. Because I go to Miami and I see people on the street, yo, man, I'm from Minnesota and I watch your channel and I'm on here on vacation, man. Oh, nice to meet you, blah, blah. Or I go to Miami and I'm in the Cuban neighborhood and somebody sees me, yo, I watch your pigeon channel and, you know, blah, blah, you helped me get my birds, blah, blah, whatever. And I go to Tampa and I could be at the Cuban store in Tampa and I might run into somebody watching my YouTube channel. Yo, all love everywhere I go. The only place where I don't get love is back where I'm from. They don't want to see you succeed. And I tell anybody the same thing. If you're from a place, you got to get up out of that place, because you ain't going to succeed. Them people, if they know you since they're little, they don't remember you. They don't want to see the kid that they thought was going to end up in prison for the rest of his life living better than them, because it hurts their ego. They thought they were better than you. They want to see you fail because they want to feel like they're better than you. And that's really how it is. These people around here, they don't know where I'm from, what I done, how I came up. So they can envy me, but they don't know why they're envying me. You know what I mean? If they knew where I came, if they were back over there. And I ran into this problem all the time in Naples, where I had money one time and I wanted to buy a Mercedes-Benz off this dude. He knew me since I was little. And I had the money cash. I was going to buy a Mercedes-Benz. And I went up to do it and I said, hey, man, you going to sell that car? And he says, oh, no, I'm not going to give it to you. Like, dang, man, that's really what this man thought. He really thought I got the money right here in my pocket. And he really thought that my intentions were, because I knew him and all that, to try to get him to give me that Mercedes-Benz. And there's a long story behind that. There's a real long story behind that. We ain't going to get into that story. But this little aspect of the story. I got the money in my pocket. I want to buy this dude's car. He had this convertible, sweet little Mercedes-Benz. I had the money cash. Whatever he would have said, I would have bought it off of him. You know what he tells me? Oh, man, I can't give it to you. Cut the conversation off right there. 2 weeks later, I run into him again. I bought a C280. I put some big chrome wheels on. That thing was fresh. Oh, you bought that? I'm like, yeah, I bought it. I had money in my pocket, man. I had money in my pocket to buy it. Oh, I thought you were going to try to get me to give it to you or something. I'm like, why you think you owe me something? Oh, you know why you think you owe me something, right? And he knows why they know why they thought they owe me something. They know why they thought they owed me something. But that's how it is. That's how it is. You got to put distance between me. I can't be around all them hateful people that saw me, when I run into them teachers that when I was in school, tried to make my life miserable, got me in trouble, did all that to me, and they see me living better than them. Man, you still a teacher? You ain't bought a house yet? You still living paycheck to paycheck? It's gotta hurt them because everybody there wanted to see you. They set me up for failure. And despite all the odds that they set me up against, I'm being successful. So I got nothing but hate for that place. I don't even know why. I don't know how much more hate I got expressed to this place for people. But understand that I don't want to go back to that. If I was going back to Florida, I would want to be somewhere like Jacksonville or I like Tampa. But it's expensive, and I don't see the practicality of living somewhere that expensive. But Jacksonville, maybe, Citrus County, if I could afford Miami. I don't know, maybe like Coral Springs in Broward County or something. But why would I want to go back to Naples? A place where, and don't get me wrong, I have met a lot of good people there. But a lot of times, a lot of those people turn fake on you. One, because when they have so much money, they can never really relate to you. You can't be a poor person and have a rich friend. That doesn't happen. Because there's always going to be that suspicion that you're trying to be their friend because of their money. You understand me? And a lot of people do kiss up to those people and do try to play the game with them people. They try to kiss up to them, and they try to be their friend and invite them for a dinner. But I ain't never been like that. You know what I mean? I'm never going to kiss up to anybody. So that's one thing against me too. That in Naples, you got to pretend to be these people's friends, and you got to kiss up to them. And when they disrespect you, you got to kind of laugh at it and let them do it because they got money. Nah, if you disrespect me, what's good? Like one dude I was working for, I worked for him recently. I'm working for him, and he made a little joke. And I said, hey, bro, I ain't your servant. I get up out of here right now. So if you want to finish this job, you better watch your little tone of mouth, because I don't. And the other thing is, it is what it is, you know. So now you ain't gonna disrespect me like you do, because other people. He's used to people kissing up to him. So he made a little joke or something, and I was like, hey, yo, what's really good? You want to see this shovel do something more than dig a hole? Oh, no, it's not like that. Oh, I don't have to be here. Believe me, I don't have to leave here. I'll grab that drill and walk away from this job site. It's worth more than what you're going to pay me. At the end of the day, that's what they're used to. They're used to having people kiss up to them, so they expect you to do the same thing. I don't want to know about that place. Like I said, they discriminated me, took away my education, gave me no opportunity for success. What would I want to do with that place? Checking out Jose. I hope you guys liked the video.